everybody, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my March favorites. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot believe that we are already at the end of March. That is crazy to me. At the time this video goes up, it'll actually probably be technically April, but I am recording this right on one of the last days of March, and I just wanted to say that, wow, this month went by fast. So I am going to actually just go through my different categories of favorites. I don't usually have a specific order I like to talk about stuff in, so I'm just gonna go through it. If you love favorites videos, make sure you like this video, and if you are new here, remember to subscribe before you go if you enjoy this, so that we can be in each other's lives and stuff. That sounded creepy, but I didn't mean it creepy, I swear. So moving right along. I am so fun today, I swear. I wanted to add a new category because I'm having so much fun with my crystals and my herbs and things. I haven't added herbs yet, but it's probably coming, I'm sure. But for now, I would like to talk about my favorite crystal of the month, which is this little beauty here. So this is a septarian, and this is a, basically, as I understand it, and somebody with more knowledge of crystals than I, please feel free to correct me if anything I say is wrong, but I believe that this is basically fossilized mud. So this kind of tan color that you see on that side is the actual mud, and as it sort of dried and hardened, it got these gaps where other minerals grew. So I don't remember what the other minerals are. Some of you might know by looking, but it's usually these sort of colors. So you usually see yellow, which may be like a type of calcite, I'm not sure. But this stone just feels so earthy and grounding, and I was actually drawn to this little palm stone guy when I was at Northwest Tarot Symposium, which was where I picked this one up. It was obviously a very fast-paced and high-energy environment, and I wasn't going to buy any crystals there at all, but once I picked this up, I didn't want to put it down. I needed it. It's so soothing, and it's like this nice little small size, and it's wonderful to meditate with, and it's very calming, and I like it. I even talk slower when I hold it, except for when I also have coffee, which I don't this time, so you're probably safe. So that's the only one I wanted to highlight this month, although I'm sure I will go ham with it next month. We'll see. Let's talk about food. So if you watched my February favorites, which I will link in the cards if I remember, Peggy got me this ridiculous giant chocolate heart from Purdy's in February as like a pre-non-Valentine's Day, Valentine's Day kind of thing. And in the process of getting that chocolate and then partially refilling that chocolate, we discovered this delicious chocolate at Purdy's that I'm pretty sure I talked about last month too, but it is a raspberry balsamic little chocolate truffly sort of favorite thing ever. I cannot eat one of these things and not make audible noises, and it's kind of creepy, but it's so delicious. And I do love, it's astounding to me because I usually avoid fruit and chocolate combinations hardcore. I usually don't like them. I don't like raspberry filling in my chocolate cake. I don't like raspberry mochas or any of those other weird fruit chocolate combinations unless it's actual fruit dipped in actual chocolate. Then we can talk. But normally fruit and chocolate, not a thing. But balsamic raspberries in chocolate, flavors in chocolate, so good. So I'm still on about that. Maybe by next month I'll have discovered something I like better, but it's doubtful. Let's see, let's talk, you know what, let's get into books. So the only book I am actually still working through Tarot and Astrology by Corinne Kenner. I am almost finished with that book, but I feel like I can't quite count it because it's not done yet. And I'm also still reading my current fiction book, which is Throne of Jade by Naomi Novik. And this is a little Kobo reader that Peggy handed down to me. It's so cute and little. I'm still reading that because I don't read fiction as often as I thought I was going to, and it's quite a long book, but I'm about 80% done, loving it, can't wait to go on to the next one in the series. But the one thing I can talk about, which sort of counts because it's a book, is the Tarot Tracker. But this is by Red Feather, which is a division of Schiffer that does a lot of their sort of tarot-y sort of content. And this is actually a pretty awesome book. I started it into the year because I felt like my daily tarot draws had gotten a little bit lackluster. I feel like I was pulling cards, but it had gotten a little routine, and I was losing that time to, or at least not being really great about sitting with the cards and really thinking them through. This completely changed all that. So I'll show you how it's set up. So in the beginning, I haven't filled out some of this stuff in the beginning because it gives you a spot where you can basically put in, I'm about to fill this in because I have a cool thing I'm working on, but it gives you a spot for every card in the entire deck to put your meanings of the cards in that spot. And it does it again at the end. So you can kind of review how your impressions of the card meanings has shifted and changed throughout the year, which I think is really cool. It also has a spot in here near the end for you to do a birthday reading. Let's see if I can find that and I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah, there's a spot for New Year's resolution readings, a New Year reading revisited, so you can revisit your New Year reading at the end of the year and see what you think, and then a birthday reading. So it's kind of like, it gives you the spread positions and spots to journal, and then here's your meanings tracker revisited as well at the end. But the actual day-to-day stuff, which is dated, is really kind of simple and beautiful. I love it. So basically each day you get a day reading spot and a night reading spot, and you have several little tick boxes so you can actually tick off what you're doing the reading for. So for example, in the day, you might do card of the day, or how can I serve others best, or what can I learn today? And then in the night reading, it might be reflection on today's events, or how did I properly use my energy, or how did I poorly use my energy, etc., etc. And you can tick off multiple boxes if you're drawing more than one card. You can just focus on one of those, and then you just have space to journal. There's a spot to put the cards you drew. I have been loving this. So for starters, I find that I'm much more thoughtful with my morning draws, and I've been making time in the evening to do evening draws. And this is neat because I am working with a quarterly, once a quarter I'm working with, not once a quarter, why can't I say this? In each quarter, I'm working with a special deck that I'm studying. So I've been using my weekly decks for my morning draws and my quarterly study deck for the evening, which is giving me time to really dig into that deck that I'm working with over 3 months to get to know it really, really well by having a daily practice with just that deck. I will also, if I feel like I need it, pull from my soul deck, my Mons Tarot, if I just want that little bit of fluffiness before bed, or I want that nurturing energy. But most of the time I'm working with my quarterly study deck in that spot. That was a lot of time talking about this, but I have been really enjoying it, so it's definitely a favorite. Okay, what else do I have? Let's talk about self-care while I have the nerve. So, as some of you know, I have been running a weekly video series called Self-Worth Saturday, where I sort of launch a topic and then wifey Peggy comes on with me and we host a live chat discussion on that topic. That series alone is a wonderful act of self-care. I can't tell you how nurturing it is to have this sort of space to not only talk about a topic I am extremely passionate about, which is self-care. I just noticed my septarian just rolled across the floor. It's like over there on the floor. I don't even know when it fell down. Anyway, just hosting that series and running that and talking about that stuff has been so wonderful. And also the discussions in this community that we are having in the live chats are so warm and wonderful. I will link in the cards to the last one we had at the time that you're watching this video, so you can see it for yourself. But they're very rewatchable. We end up covering all kinds of things. We go on tangents, but we circle it back to the main topic, and it's just been really, really lovely. The scary thing I'm going to talk about. So I also had, I don't know why this is so tough. I made a really difficult decision this month to not go to a family event that in almost every other circumstance I would have sucked it up and just gone. It was a really, really powerful self-care act to not go to this event. And that's about as much as I want to say about it. I just want to say, though, that sometimes we're conditioned to think that certain things are just non-negotiable. And I was really struggling. I meant so much and made such a difference. And I'm going to get emotional, so I'm going to stop. But it was just, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself that I was able to make that decision in spite of all of my conditioning and all of the things that were tugging at me on the inside. I still made that call, and it was good. And I don't know that it would have been as easy if I hadn't been having all of these self-worth discussions with all of you guys on my Saturdays. So thank you for those of you who have been holding space for each other in those discussions. And now there's a motorcycle. And also for me, and also holding space for me, because I really, really appreciate it. So that's enough of that. Let's get on to more fun stuff. Magic. So okay, well, this is sort of fun. I ended up having a really incredible ritual at Ostara. I crafted my own ritual. It involved some very special time where I created a really unique ritual to honor and support and create space for the transition of my dad. He passed away in February, and so having my own and creating my own ritual for that was really empowering and beautiful and meaningful, and that was a big part of my Ostara ritual this year. And it was also like a super moon and a full moon and all these like convalescing energies. And there was a friend of mine who I had been emailing with a bit that we've been out of touch for a long time. We got back in touch, and she's been very supportive of that process as well. So I just felt really nurtured and empowered to do that, and it was really beautiful and powerful and awesome. I also had some really great astral sort of meditation experiences where I am connecting with a new energy to me, and it's really beautiful, and I'm enjoying it, and it's totally a favorite. I may talk about that more in the future. We shall see. And then let's talk about YouTube. There is an incredible series that Benabelle Wen has been putting out on her YouTube channel that I don't know if you've seen or taken the time to watch, but you should, because it's incredible. And that is the Sight See the Tarot series. So I think by the time the series is all said and done, there will be something like 12 to 15 videos in this series. They are meaty. She has put so much work into this, and I have had some really fantastic, powerful experiences working through the exercises that she is sharing in that series. But in a nutshell, what she's done is combined a bunch of different tarot books, or exercises rather, from tarot books, whether they be current things or very old things, demonstrated those exercises, walked you through them, and it's very well put together with a lot of guidance, so you literally are following along. If you're the type of person that really enjoys, like, say, guided meditation or workbooks where you're sort of guided step by step through a process, you are going to love them. Love them. Go watch. It's so good. And I'm boggled. Mind is boggled that those are free, and I am super grateful to Benabelle for making those available because they are fantastic. Moving along, what else do I got for you? So, memories. March was amazing. So March was when I went to Northwest Tarot Symposium. So you will be able to watch my blog wrapping all of that up, which I will link in the cards. And if you are keen to do so, I also have a Northwest Tarot Symposium playlist. Actually, maybe I'll put that in the cards, the playlist. That makes more sense. Because I actually made little mini videos throughout my entire experience there. There are lots of me waking up early in the morning with bedhead and like talking through what I planned to do that day. So if you are into finding out what that experience was like for me, just clicky the playlist and you can hear more about that. But that was definitely a favorite. It was also really neat to meet a lot of the people from this community and put faces to names and go to some incredible classes. This is my favorites list, in case you were wondering, because I have no memory at all if I don't write stuff down. Let's see, what else? I always forget, like, the really cool stuff. Magic. Oh, okay, so let's talk about some fun stuff. So, random and also sort of deck related, but I haven't officially worked with this for a full week yet, but subscriber Barb sent me the Happy Tarot. So if I have any cards left by this point in the video, I will link that there. It only lets you have like 5. Otherwise, it'll be down below. But I did a live unboxing of this deck along with my Enchanted Crystal subscription box, and I kind of lost my mind a little. I think I was actually like 5 years old in that video. But these are so adorable. And if any of you have been watching my channel for quite a while, one of the first, I think possibly the first and only wish list video I ever made, this was in it, and I still hadn't picked it up for myself yet. So to have somebody get it for me, or send it to me rather, was such a special, cool moment. I was just And she boxed it so cute with candy in it, and it just, oh, I love it. I did do a video using this deck for a Healing Your Inner Child spread, which is recently on my channel, and I'm probably out of cards by this point, but I may throw that up there if there's still room. But that was really fun. If you can't see it in the cards or whatever, then definitely you can find it on my channel because I did it pretty recently. But this, super cute, and I can't wait to work with it for a full week, but it's a keeper for sure. I'm thrilled with it, so very happy about that. As far as the decks that I worked with this month, there are a few that were standouts for me. So the first one I want to talk about is the 78 Tarot Mythical. 81 artists, Katie Welsh and Trish Sullivan. They do sort of a lot of the behind the scenes kind of stuff. So Katie Welsh manages this project, and then Trish writes the guidebook, and I think she also helps her with it as well. So the guidebook is written by Trish Sullivan and the 70, it says 78 tarot artists, but I'm pretty sure there's 81. But it is written by them. And the guidebook for this deck is in full color. I did review this in one of my weekly deck reviews this past month. Love the guidebook, and the production quality in this entire deck set is outstanding. The book is obviously in full color, as you can see. You get a full deck, a card image. You also get a bit of information on the mythology of that card. So if it was a mythological creature, so for example, this one is the Chimera. So this is the Two of Pence. So it talks about the Chimera, and then it also talks about the artist's interpretation, and then Trish Sullivan has also written a really wonderful interpretation of that card. So you get a lot of information in this little guidebook. There are some spreads in here as well. And then the cards themselves are so beautiful. So these are the backs. Look at the bling. Are you kidding? They're so gorgeous. And then, of course, they are gold gilded, and this gilding has held up beautifully. So I've had decks where the gilding just wears like right away, because I do rifle shuffle, I do tap my cards on the table, that sort of thing, and these have held up really well. So the gilding is a really nice one. The cards are matte and borderless, and each card has the title of the card as well as the name of the artist on it, so you get lots of information on the cards themselves. Beautiful, love these. And I was really a little bit hesitant because I was not sure. I keep showing that Cali card. I was not sure if I was going to really jive with a collab deck. I thought all the different art styles would actually make for a disjointed experience when reading with this deck, but I didn't find that was the case at all. For single card pulls, it's incredible because, of course, there's nothing to clash at all. But it actually does really well and looks beautiful in multi-card spreads, and I was not sure that that was going to be the case. So that was really neat to see and to experience. I love this image so much. Who's this artist? Aja Trier. That's beautiful. I love the fact that I can literally, I love this image too. It's my Mama Yamaya. Oh my God. So beautiful. Well, that's what it makes me think of anyways. So beautiful. So anyways, I will stop with this one. I know this artist, Meredith Dillman. If I don't know this artist, then I've definitely seen other work by her before. But yes, it's really neat to be able to look through here, and if a piece of art really resonates with you, to be able to look at the artist name right away, go look that artist up, learn more about them and their work. It's such a cool project. I have backed the 78 Tarot Elemental, which I believe is still live on Kickstarter at the time that you are watching this. So I will try to remember to put a link for that down below, because it's going to be really great. It's already funded. We're already on stretch goal number 77 or something. No, I'm just kidding. Like on 5 or something. But still, there's a lot of stretch goals. It's been awesome. Another deck that I have to talk about is the Dark Mansion Tarot. This is such a beauty. Comes in a clamshell box. I got the large, but not the limited edition. So mine is a matte cardstock, but it is not, and it is matte gold gilded, but it is not that rose petal finish. These are big cards. They are a little tricky to handle, but I can just barely shuffle them the typical way, like the rifle shuffle way that I like to, but it's a stretch for my hands, I have to admit. There's a part of me that wishes I had gotten a smaller size, but I love these, and I love how big and vibrant and gorgeous they are. I have not talked to anybody who has regretted the purchase of what happened here? Is my title card in there? Yeah, that was my title card. I was like, why though? And now I've got upside. Did I just totally just flip the whole deck upside down? What is my issue today, people? That's what I was going to say, is that I haven't talked to anybody who's regretted this. The only downside to this deck is many people have experienced really, 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 really long shipping delays. So standard shipping is slow, very slow. My deck took 9.5 weeks to get to me. Actually, 9.5 weeks. Okay, my cards are like mixed up. Some of them are upside down. I don't read reversals. It's throwing me. But I have to tell you, the art is so good. I have no complaints about this card, this deck. It is beautiful. It reads like a dream. There is so much to see in every single image. Like, there's elements. I love that the Lovers has this Marseille sort of element to it with the dark-haired figure and the blonde, and you just kind of get that element of choice, not just the Lovers, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of personality through this whole deck. Fool's not my favorite ever because I'm not a big fan of the whole clown jester thing, but I get where it's coming from. It's so easy to read with, you guys. It's incredible. It's incredible. And I don't regret this one at all. The backings are beautiful. The regular size of this deck has a different backing, but that backing is also beautiful. I just think this one is slightly more beautiful. So there's that. I love, love, love this. And Peggy got contacted to do some embroidery for somebody who had this deck, who asked for a spider web with the text Dark Mansion. And it came out really good, so I asked Peggy to make me one too. So I haven't strung it yet though, but that's what the bag looks like. So good. So if you do want a bag for your Dark Mansion tarot in this design, I think she might be out of this fabric, but it should be pretty easy to get a similar color again in the future, or she has some other fabrics that are kind of light. Sorry, not to shill my wife, I'm just saying. It's beautiful, right? Anyways, if you want this, now that she's created this design for somebody, she does have it in her library of designs, is what I'm saying. So it exists. So if you want one, reach out. PM us or something, or email me or her, or whatever. But yeah, I still need to put the strings in mine, but it's perfect. And she did make this bag a little bit taller than her standard, so it's the same. It might be a tiny bit wider, but it's definitely a little bit taller so that it holds the larger box. So very excited about that. And the very last thing I have, because this is getting long, but favorites videos do. The Oracle deck that I worked with the last week of March is a definite favorite. It's just absolutely beautiful. So this is the little bag that I've been keeping it in. It's one of Peggy's minis. And it just looks, it's got this really cool, like it looks like it's been embroidered or crocheted or something, but it's just the cotton print. So pretty. Anyways, it is this deck. This is the Curious Oracle 4th edition by Holly Fount. Now, I believe that Holly Fount is the featured artist for next year's Northwest Tarot Symposium, which is kind of awesome. And this deck is absolutely beautiful. There's a system to this deck that I'm not super familiar with. You do get a like fold open like paper pamphlet that describes it. But in essence, I'll just give you a quick rundown because I know this video is getting long. But in essence, in these cards, you have 7 sets of 7. So you have a set for the body, for motion, for intuition, heart, mind, blessings, and spirit. And then with each of those sets, you have a card for manifest, relationship, growth, structure, lesson, healing, and epiphany. So it's kind of like a grid, right? So when you pull a card, for example, I'll just do a quick little pull here. So Moonrise. Moonrise is in set 3, so this is related to intuition. And this is step 7, illumination. So step 7 is related to epiphany. So the epiphany of intuition is illumination. So it's like a chart. And if you're somebody that likes spreadsheets and systems and structure and suits and that kind of thing, you will love this. Not to mention, if you look at the art, it is stunning. I don't know if it's picking it up on camera, but it has this like texture to it. And all of the art has that texture. It's stunning. Sorry, I'm covering up the words. It's so, so, so pretty. And I love all of it. Like, it works. Okay, so I'm not giving you, I'm just telling you about the physical. Oh, and the cardstock is, ooh, it's so good. It's probably like 350 or 400 GSM. Like, it's thick. It's like so thick that when I first touched it, I asked her if it was plastic cardstock because it feels so heavenly and smooth, and it's beautiful. But physical stuff aside, I found that this reads beautifully in an intuitive way. So I didn't find myself really reaching for the paper much. There is a digital guidebook that I had intended to purchase, but her Etsy shop is on holidays right now, so I couldn't do the digital download of the little guidebook. But what I do love, and here's, I think I showed you the backings. What I do love is that you can just pull a card, Lotus Fire, Energy, and you can read that intuitively, I feel, in many contexts. But this deck works especially beautifully, I think, in small spreads of 2 or 3 cards. So, for example, the Jewel is Riches, combined with the Raven, which is Intellect, combined with the Prayer Wheel, which is Meditation. And you can lay these 3 cards out in a spread, and you could go past, present, future, or mind, body, spirit, or anything else you do with a 3-card spread, and it just reads super, super well. So this is one of those oracle decks, kind of like any other really balanced one I've got, like Oracle of Echoes or the Illuminated Earth Oracle, where I feel like there's just a ton of good stuff in here, and it doesn't shy away from the dark stuff either. We have Blackbird for grief, Spider Wisdom. We have Wings, our escape. So there's a lot of really good stuff here if you love to just dig into good keywords and beautiful art. It ticks a lot of those boxes, and it's such a joy to read with. Plus, it's like kind of a nice size. Like, it's a little deck. As I said, it fits in one of Peggy's mini bags, so you know it's small. So here's here's the Happy Tarot just box, just so you can kind of get an idea. And that is the Curious Oracle size. So this is like a mini deck. But it's not that teeny tiny like Lo Scarabeo mini tarot size mini. It's a little bit bigger than that. But the image, the artwork just suits this size really well because it's really bold and vivid colors. Really clear and easy to read. But yeah, it's just beautiful. Love it. So those are my 3 favorite decks of the month. And I think, you guys, that's it. That's a wrap. I love favorites videos, and hopefully you do too. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and all of that good stuff. But also, if you make favorites videos, or if you do like wrap up posts on Instagram or whatever, hit me up with yours down below so that I can make sure that I watch it. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day or evening, wherever you may be, and I will talk to you all again very soon. Bye!